I promised you guys any updates in the case against Tim from As I Lay Dying, and that which has been uncovered is, well, slightly startling and really doesn't seem to bode very well. What has transpired and what has been uncovered is, and this is all, of course, based around what has been presented. A lot of this still needs to be proven, the whole innocent until proven guilty idea. And of course, at this point in time, this early portion of the legal proceedings, this is in no way part of the trial. This is more of the bail hearing and the opening presentations. The rendition of the story as it goes is that Tim was at a gym and was talking to a couple of people and had spoken about how he felt that the lives of his children would be better with just one parental figure as opposed to two, and asked if there was anybody who was able to do the job. This was something that was reiterated a day later, and then somebody had indeed come forward. The code name of this individual is Red. Now, here's where the details will probably get a little bit sketchy for some people, considering there have been those of you who have presented the fact that As I Lay Dying were currently engaged in a Asian tour and other band endeavors as opposed to endeavors that were taking place in this area. But there was apparently a meeting that took place in a car that included Tim and this undercover individual, Red, who ended up being an undercover policeman. And there was an agreement that the deal would be done. There was an agreement that it would be taking place, and he wanted it to be done whenever he had the children. That way he had an alibi, and presented Red with $1,000 in cash, which seems relatively cheap for a hit. So once again, there's where the dispute may have a lot of great claim. Also presented photographs of his wife, also presented possible entrance points, security codes, locations, and a list of dates, elaborate dates, where he would have the children. That way everything would go smooth as he kind of intended. Because of this, of course, with all of this being found and discovered and all of this being presented, of course, it does not look initially very good for Tim. This actually makes the case seem very, very poor against him. But also, because of the information of him being on tour and everything like that, his defense attorney seems to believe and has presented that this whole situation reeks of an elaborate setup. Now, of course, an elaborate setup idea seems a little bit convoluted, and there is definitely seems to be a pattern here of a lot of unhappiness and a lot of true malicious desire. But at this point in the proceedings, when everything is sort of being discovered as we go along, it seems like a weak defense. To repeat, it seems as though all the proceedings happened that Tim was in a car and had offered $1,000 and any information required for somebody to actually execute the hit on his wife. However, this is all just information that is being presented. But I'm no legal counselor, nor am I anybody who can really judge, but this really doesn't look good. In fact, this looks pretty damn bad. All we can do now is continue to wait for more details to be revealed. Of course, Tim will have his day in court. And even if he is released from prison, he will be forced to wear a GPS device and to come nowhere near his immediate family, which would, of course, include his children. Nation, of course, your reactions are better suited for the comment box, and I'm sure that a lot of this will come as a great shock, and I know that you've probably heard this news and read this news throughout the course of the day. However, your reactions, your comments, your speculations are welcome in the comment box. And as I said before, any new developments that come from this case, any major developments that occur, and of course once the trial and everything begins, it'll be updated right here on the channel for you guys. We will follow this story very, very closely, considering this is something that involves our metal community very deeply, almost like, well, actually just like the Randy Blythe trial from a year ago. I know it's the hope of most of you that we have a similar result where Randy was tried and found not guilty. However, in my own personal opinion, from what has been presented thus far, it's hard for me to be that positive. What about you?